Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Wednesday afternoon, March 30th. We are looking at Window Trader's market profile of SPY IWM triple Qs. Read the day really well in SPY and ES today. You could sense something changing after C period. We'll get into that in a moment. Disastrous day, I think, for Russell. Now, one day doesn't make a market, but after what they attempted to do yesterday, incredibly disappointing, where they broke out of a 9-week balance to the upside, went out with a price probe and a trend day up, not only to take back everything, including the probe, the trend day, and the 9-week balance high, they go out with a triple distribution day down. Incredible. They have 4 sets of single prints: H, J, K, and L. Now, we did not price probe any of us to the downside, and their volume wasn't extremely heavy. Now, maybe this is just shaking out week long. So like I said yesterday, one day doesn't make a market above the 9-week balance high. Well, back into it, one day doesn't make a market. However, they had a chance for an outside month up. For them to do that, they have to take back almost this entire trend day. 209.05 was the balance high, last month's high. So if they don't do that, they don't get the outside month up, and they're going to hold some singles or some of this distribution. Qs go out with a double distribution day like us. They have single print. I'm sorry, we filled our single prints. End period just filled Ks in Qs. That does not count. Now here's what's interesting about Qs, and this is where you have to be ready to change your game plan on a dime. 10 for 10 triple Qs. Takes out the IB high, only take out the IB low and go trend down. So there's still a double distribution day. Don't count end period. They'll have to fill that tomorrow. We had an opportunity for a trend day a couple of times down. D period failed. Then we had 2 sets, K and L. They both failed. So all we end up with is an afternoon rally high and a day's high and low. Now, what changed for me? Where did I sense change? Well, I did tell the room, whoever wins the open is going to win the day, and odds are value gets pulled down to unchanged. Now, that never happened. This is not right to value. The value is overlapping a higher. It almost got unchanged, but then when K and L stretched out, value high actually went higher because value was 70% of the day's volume, so the lower we went and the volume wasn't as heavy, value high went higher. But where else did I sense change? Well, look at F and G. Could never get the opening. Turned out to be a beautiful afternoon rally high. I did take the short in F, not in G. Another nuance. I said I expect POC to get lowered. Well, it did. We only got 6 wide. I thought we would get 9 wide. But then when I couldn't get G's low to go 6 wide, when J couldn't get G's low, remember I'm in 5s now, 6-tick increments. They never got there. I'm like, something changed here, and I think we're definitely going to make lower lows and maybe even get more extension. And that's what happened. I didn't take advantage of it right away. I did in L and M, but I didn't in K. I did have a good day. And one other thing before I get to my trades. All this does is now put the daily back into balance. That's it. We all held our gaps from yesterday. We got into them, but we held them. $2 balance for SPY, 2-day balance for Russell, and a 2-day balance for Qs. We all held our gaps from yesterday. So I don't have a problem with that. Consolidation is healthy. I'm not thrilled about 4 sets of single prints, though, for Russell. We'll see if they get taken back tomorrow. First trade I took today, believe it or not, wasn't until D period. Nothing got me excited in C. So when D really ripped down, I'm like, I don't think, we had overlap and a higher value. We got the overnight, so I like, you know what? I'll start one at the overnight high, which I did. Now we got below the overnight low, I'm sorry. We got below the overnight low, but the more we stretched out, so I had a 5 lot, a 10 lot, a 25 lot, and then when we had a set of single prints that were going to be about $1 only halfway through the time frame with overlap and a higher value, I'm like, I really aren't seeing that happening. Bought 100. So I went from being out, and I was out, not a lot, but I was out, to this thing popping to give me an excellent trade because the 100 lot paid me beautifully. So the first trade of the day was probably, very nice and my best trade of the day. I missed a short in E. I did want to take a short in E. I didn't take it when we couldn't get back to B's low. And then after that, I took a short in F because, like I said, if we can't get to the opening, I think POC gets lowered at some point. So I did the 461 puts. I period, I took a long when we made a new low. I'm like, well, there's no tempo yet. And I did the 457 calls. But when J could not get back to G, I told the room, and this is what's so valuable about my room. I said, look, I'm looking to fade lows initially, but when J couldn't get back, I said that fade trade is over. Something's changed. Now, I didn't get short right away, but I certainly didn't get hurt on a long. I did nothing in K, but then I had a nice 30 put play in L and a nice 15 put play in M before it took out L's high. So seeing how the market is developing, not when it happens. We're looking at things and it's like a chess game. We're looking 5 moves ahead to what may happen and what we want to do. And what doesn't happen is just as important as what does happen. What didn't happen? We couldn't get to G's low in I or J. That was telling me something. And then, as weak as the sellers were during the day, they finally got some legs. Now, that's not real powerful selling. It's longs getting out and shorts piling in. And look, they all covered at the end of the day. So, again, I think the market's still very healthy going into tomorrow in the bigger picture. As far as destinations, upside, 460.12. That's G's high, afternoon rally high. 461.19 daily high. 462.07 daily high. Downside, we don't have anything to today's low, 456.46, and then fill in the gap at 455.91. So it was 127 cents. It's now down to 55 cents. And then I'll give these again, but you should have them. 454.59 price pro from the 28th. Single prints, 453.86 to 65 from the 28th. 450.06 daily low. Tomorrow is the last day of the quarter. Now, let's go to the chart real quick. Now, I just want to see something really quick. So we're down 3.5%. Again, unless we really get destroyed tomorrow, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong being down 3-4% for the quarter, considering what we were. Okay? So here's the daily. The monthly's balanced, the weekly's up, the daily's a 2-day balance. Remember, look what we've done. Even though we had a little pause here. For all intents and purposes, we've gone from 416 to 462. That's a $46 move. Look what we did this day. Just like today, we pulled back. And then look what? We balanced and went up. So there's nothing wrong with this. If you're a buyer, we'll see if we hold the gap tomorrow. Now, of course, if we take out these 2 days lows and get accepted into here, things change. But for now, I think it's still healthy. So the daily is balanced now. Now, here's the other ones. Look, triple Q's on the daily. Same thing, balance, holding the gap. Look where they came from. And let's look at Russell. Now, they've been different. They've been a lot different. Look, they didn't go straight up like we did. Yeah, they made their low here, went up, balanced, came out to down, balanced, came up to up. So they really only went up one day after this balance. And now they took it out. But more importantly, which causes concern for me and Russell, is this weekly high. If they can't get back above 209.05, well, all they did is once again stretch it. They stretched it by $3. And for now, I'm calling the weekly up. But you have to start getting acceptance above it. Otherwise, my goodness, the bottom of the balance are basically the lows for the year. Keep that in mind. So anyway, come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. It's a lot more than just telling you, buy here, sell here. It's explaining anything and everything on why and how the market's doing something. Enjoy your evening. Thanks for the likes and subscribing, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.